liberty, and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. This is the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting. We're at the Osage Mitchell County Courthouse. Meeting is available by GoToMeeting also. We have an agenda in front of us. Are there any corrections needed? Otherwise, I'll accept the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Parker makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Brian seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the minutes of the October 17th meeting and the claims. Any corrections needed? Otherwise, I'll accept the motion.
Make a motion for October 17th meeting and claim.
Hendrickson's made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Mayor has seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Cindy.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye. County Attorney General discussion.
Don't really have anything to update you on, specific, I can think of. Got some juvenile hearings I've got to do at 9:30, so I'll probably head out of here maybe about 9:15. The meeting's still going on, just so I can get up there and get situated and get everybody herded into the courtroom. Other than that, I guess I don't have any particular updates on anything. I try to keep you updated on certain things as we go along, like said, a couple of things I've got I guess the big thing, I've got a lot of different things that are a priority, but, the Kephart thing, and, keep my eye on that, keep you guys informed. Just waiting for a redemption period to go by. Other than that, like I said, I got some juvenile hearings. There's always quite a bit going on, but I guess I don't have anything in particular to update you on, but I'm always available for questions if you have any.
Any questions for the attorney?
Thank you.
We are good.
Okay.
Thank you. Sheriff update, he's not with us here at this time. this morning. Department head discussion. Any department head discussion?
I've got a couple things.
Okay.
I think it was 2 years ago, we discussed on election week, doing the meeting on Monday instead of Tuesday. Does that still work to do it on November 6th instead of November 7th? It's a Monday.
Yeah, I can make it work.
Okay.
I have a HVAC meeting at 11, but I'm sure we.
You hope we're done by then?
Yeah, I hope we're done by that, so it should be fine.
And then I've got one more. I had Joel Roney here on Friday because our election computers are having issues. So these are the laptops that we use at the precincts. They upgraded the software and we have a small RAM on the current laptops that we have. Will work for the city school, but he really encouraged to replace before the primary in June. This was obviously not in the budget, so I'm getting quotes to see. We have a couple options. One, we either upgrade the laptops that we use. We have 20 of them, and that's with Precinct Atlas. Otherwise, we can look at 10X, it's called, which is, these are all considered e-poll books. I got a quote from them. Those are iPads. And then they have a USB, or how is it called, a Bluetooth that it prints out the papers in. So that's all I really got on it right now, but trying to figure something out. Hopefully by the time.
Would you be able to touch base with Joel, or if we have an IT director, but touch base with somebody to make sure what they're quoting is going to work for what we need to do?
Yeah. So this is this equipment, I mean, I wouldn't go look for a laptop just to buy. I buy it directly from them. And we did get a quote for the 10X, and that's just under 36,000.
Boy.
Yeah. So Still waiting to hear back from ISAC though on the other, what laptops would be.
Did we get that IT position posted? Doesn't look like it on our website.
Under the employment opportunities?
Yeah.
I'll go look, 'cause I thought it was on there.
I was just on it, right now, and it's not. And if we could take the recycling,
That's really weird because those were taken out now.
all those are still on it, and I don't have the IT up, just so you
Yeah.
know. That you're aware of.
Sounds good.
You send the job description to, at least to me, the
Yep.
updated one, I just have to look at it.
Yep.
So, for next week, can you just add to the, I'll just finish right.
Nope, you're good.
Add to the agenda, HVAC update.
Yep.
We had a meeting yesterday and we'll just see what comes in this next week and talk about next week. And then, there was a project that we put on hold a number of months ago and that's actually supposed to start today. They plan on doing that. Part of that is to, we may need not for today, but in a week or two, we might need a boom truck in order to lift the man up, to do some work with some cameras up there. Consensus of the board, okay, to have, Dave just find a boom truck or a lift to go up there and do that. You guys okay with that? Yeah, I mean, it's not, I figured you wouldn't be, but I just wanted to ask, so.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, and then Sheriff had a question last week in regards to the HVAC project, and we discussed that yesterday. Maybe have a solution. It's gonna cost money to do the solution, so ask them for a price to see what they're looking at to do for that. I might have that this week, I don't know, but anyway, we discussed that problem, so that's what I had.
I went to that daycare meeting in Statesville and they decided they're gonna keep it open. They got new board members. How's the collection or the matching?
Right now,
funds?
we're at around $133,000, over $300,000 goal. And I have several other businesses that are pledging something, we just don't know how much yet.
So I updated them on that, so that.
Okay, very good, that's good news.
Yeah, so they're, yeah, they got a, well, they had 5 volunteers, but they decided they're gonna appoint somebody off the city council to be on there since the city owns the building. I mean, that sounds appropriate, keep them in the loop. But so hopefully they can make the
Are they getting enrollment then? Are they getting some new
Well,
enrollment?
they're working on it. I don't know where they're at with it, but the trouble, well, they want to put a no compete clause in there too, because in the last 2 years, they've had 3 directors. Each time they left, they opened their own daycare and took kids with them. So that's the problem. That's a problem. So they want to have a no compete clause within 30 miles, which makes sense, you know. So anyway, anybody listening out there, if they got looking for daycare, this the Statesville daycare is going to stay open and they're looking for enrollment, so.
Okay.
So I pass that on.
Any other department head discussion? All right. County engineer update. Rich is not available today. So appoint weed commissioner. Want to talk a little bit or just
I can, yeah.
maybe give us a brief update or something? And
So this is what I got sent into the state weed commissioner.
assuming you're the one that wants to be the weed commissioner.
Well, I'm here.
Okay.
It's just something to look over. That's what I sent you. Questions they asked me. I don't have much to say.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Thanks.
Never gonna get 1,400 miles of ditches done. You know, I try to pick a section, do it. Like I tried to focus on hard surface roads this year, just because they're the most traveled and people see them. Hopefully they come to the county and say, no problem.
Were there a lot of requests from the public in regards to noxious weeds?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Good.
But there, I have seen in the southwest, or excuse me, southeast, we're having poison hemlock problems, which is kind of a touchy weed. Not picking on cattle farmers, but that seems to be where it's at.
I see.
Because not anything they do, they're just busy. They don't have time to do their ditches and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so.
Any questions from the board at all? Discussion?
I've had Mark's talk to me a couple times about trimming some trees, request that, way, but not really weeds, but. I know last year being, we used an excavator to cut trees, we cut down. I'm trying to be more proactive instead of reactive on them. We cut down almost 280 trees last winter.
Wow.
I would say 75% of them logs and stuff, people had taken, so it makes the job easier. They come pick them up and you don't have a day of burning and everything, or 2 days or 3 days. So,
That's quite a few trees.
Yeah.
Right at it.
but one was a big job. It was probably 150 in a half mile, because they were all dying from the ash borer and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Have a lot more of the ashes to do.
the drought this summer, it really made them pop out a lot, so.
Okay.
What do you know?
So you are involved in the brush cutting too?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. On 450th Street where the bridge goes over the little cedar, there's trees growing out onto the, I seen a combine go through them. Hit them, but, because they're hanging on over the bridge.
That's heading east, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I can trim down bucket truck or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, some of them you can get down underneath, get them at the bottom.
Okay, these are big trees, big maple trees, and the
Oh.
branches are
Yeah, we
hanging
got
way out.
we'll have to get a bucket truck, most likely. Then.
Yeah. But I just thought I mentioned that.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't get a complaint on it, but I seen it happen and I thought,
Yeah.
somebody,
I've been on, like, going east out of Orchard, met a semi box trailer. Holy smokes. They come up around some trees and I was going the other way and I was in the gravel and I'm like, I could get Harry, we can get two of them meeting, but
oh, with the trees hanging out. Yeah.
some of them have already been taken care of. I talked to the landowner. I always try to touch base with everybody before I cut.
Okay. These trees are on my land, so go ahead, if you get that way.
So I don't have a problem of, well, he did this or that. I did kind of get my fingers in the situation not long ago where I talked to the tenant instead of the landlord.
Yeah. Sometimes that's hard to track too, is, tenant wants it and you don't know who the landlord is. Sometimes they're in Chicago.
Yeah, well, she was here in town, but I was just, after I did it, everybody's like, oh, this is what, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I talked to him again, and he didn't realize that.
Do what you can. Yep. Any other questions? Well, I'll accept the motion to appoint Brent Chapman for weed commissioner.
I'll make that motion.
Harto's made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mayor seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Todd.
Motion carries.
Same thing. With your signature.
Okay.
And I'm more than open for anybody to
Here,
bring it forward to say, do this or that.
here, and here.
Correct. Because there's times I get my blinders on and I'm only going.
There you go.
All right, thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you. Environmental health update.
Hi.
Hi.
So I just wanted to give an update since I've been back. We had a Board of Health meeting on Friday. So just wanted to give you guys more of an update of what's been going on since I've been back. So I'm gonna start with my expenses and revenues. Everything's looking good. We are, doing an amendment to my budget, because more people in the county are taking advantage of the well closure program, and we had lots of water tests take place in the first quarter. And so originally my budget wasn't set up for that many water tests and that many well closures. So, we're amending that, but, everything else looks great. And then on the revenue side, we're doing an amendment on that side as well, because I have brought in quite a bit of money from the Grants County program from the state. So I talked to Rachel, and I think we're gonna amend it like 25,000, because I'm already over $10,000, and then I've got another 12 coming from the state just for quarter one. So I'll still be able to I'll still be over by the end of the fiscal year, because all of we're only in the second quarter and I haven't submitted that yet. So, we're probably gonna amend that, I think, like $25,000. So expenses and revenues look good.
Very good.
I'm just gonna go through pretty much every aspect of, what's actually happened. So in the first quarter of this fiscal year, we've had 5 wells plugged throughout the county, which is a lot. Compared to last year, I believe we had 5 or 6 for the entire year. So just for the first quarter, we had 5. The county reimbursed on that $2,359.38. In the first quarter, we had 97 tests for water tests conducted. To compare that to last year, we had about 140 done the entire year. So we had a lot of water tests this first quarter. The cost of our tests did rise from $28 to $30 a test. That doesn't really affect us too much, other than us just having to pay out right away. We get that money back from Grants County. So we get reimbursed the $30, and then we also get reimbursed the $60 on top of that. So now we're getting $90 back per test rather than 88. So, we had 6 wells permitted and drilled, and we received $1,050 from the well drillers for the permits for these wells. We can now reimburse individuals for shock chlorination for their wells, but the shock chlorination has to take place through a certified company. It can't be just the homeowner is doing the well shock themselves and then they can get reimbursed that way. It has to take place through a company that actually offers these well shocks. So plumber or an actual well company. And we can reimburse up to $300 for that. So we do get the money back, obviously, from the Grants County program. But we had one individual take advantage of that in the first quarter, which was great. So we gave them $300 for that. And then I kind of wanted to go over fiscal year 23's total, every single quarter, what was submitted to the state. And then, so I'm going to go over that. Quarter one, we submitted that on 10/27 of 22 for $5,606.49. Quarter two was submitted on February 24th of 23, and that was for $3,147. That's expected. Quarter two is normally really, really slow because it's usually the middle of winter. So I don't take a lot of water tests. We don't have a lot of well closures. Quarter three was submitted on April 5th for $6,119.73. Quarter four was submitted on August 11th for $10,353. So for the total amount for fiscal year 23, we were given $25,280.22. We were allocated though 50,505 from the state, so we only used about half. So Q4 really, it boosted with popularity just because I sent out those postcards. So then we started getting more people on the books for water tests. We have the same budget for this year for fiscal '24 with the state, so we were allocated $50,505. And Q1 was submitted on September 11th, and it was $12,013.38. So I still have yet to see that check. They still need to approve it, but that will be coming at some point. Are there any questions about the well part of the job?
The water samples, do you see the results or do they get sent right to the homeowner?
I see the results. They come back to my office, and then I send the homeowners a hard copy in the mail. And I like that they come back to my office because then sometimes those tests are really hard to kind of figure out what's going on. So then I make a bunch of notes on their test results themselves. So then I let them know exactly what their bacteria rating is, E. coli, nitrates, all of that.
With all those tests, are they coming back good or are they not?
We have had a few come back that have been kind of pesky and they haven't wanted to get fixed, but then eventually with the well shocks, they did. But the majority of my water tests are coming back pretty good. No nitrates are coming, like I haven't seen a test come back yet that has had nitrates that are at unsafe levels. And when I say unsafe, I mean for bottle fed babies. We look at nitrates specifically for them, and because we don't want them to get blue baby syndrome. So yeah, everything's looked good on the nitrate levels. There's some wells that have slight bacteria. There's some that have more bacteria. We perform the well shocks that usually takes care of it, so.
The postcards, is that, was that for wells and for, water testing?
Yep.
Advertising it?
Yep, and we got reimbursed for that too. So we sent out those postcards probably April or so this year.
To all the rural residences, okay.
Yep. And then, that's how we got booked out so far.
Okay.
And I wanted to get those sent out before I went on maternity leave, so coming up this next year when I do it, I'm not going to send them out as quickly as I did this year, because it was a little overwhelming trying to get people on the books and then having people say, you're booked out until September. Like, I'm not gonna remember that, so can you call me with a reminder? But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of pace myself on sending those out, but yeah.
Are you all caught up now?
Yeah, we're all caught up.
Are you all? Caught up?
Yep. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Macy was a busy bee come
But
the time that she was busy every single Monday and Tuesday.
I've seen her travel.
Yeah. There were days where she had 7, 8 tests in that day. So yeah, it was a lot, but she did good.
That's good.
I mean, and it's beneficial for the homeowners. It's also beneficial for the county. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, septic update, if there's no other questions about water tests or wells. Okay, septic update. We've had 59 systems being applied for, which is a lot. I don't know, this year is just, it's kind of weird. We're having just an influx of numbers go up. So last year we had about 40. So now we've got 59 this year. Number of systems installed. As of today, we've got 46, possibly 47, with one going in today. Maybe, depending on the weather. I don't know. The contractor just called me, actually. With the pending systems that need installed, we've got 13, maybe 12, again, depending on today. Out of those numbers, 8 of them were shop systems, and 38 of them, with today, possibly 39 of them were house systems. So we just, again, an influx of septic systems going in. I think I've had a system, at least one system go in, maybe 2 every single week since I've been back. So that's quite a bit. The number of certified installers that we've got this year is 16, which is more than we had last year. 10 of those are state certified, 6 of them are not state certified, and as of those 16, 3 of them are new companies to the county. So, with the IFA grant systems, so just a little background, those are the systems that were in unincorporated, or in the nearby proximity of the either incorporated towns or they were in unincorporated towns, weren't served by a public sewer system. They could apply to the state for the grant that closed in March of 22. And we had 8 of those individuals get awarded the ability to put a system in. So some with the state right now, they're still even working on some of the applications for those individuals throughout the entire state, but all of our 8 have successfully been installed and paid for, which is a huge feat. I know that when I told the lady that we were all paid for, she's like, thank goodness I can cross a county off, because I don't think I've been able to do that yet. So that was really good. A total of $120,000, give or take a couple dollars, was supplied to 8 Mitchell County residents for new septic systems. And the most expensive system installed was $26,500, and it took place in New Haven. So that was a huge feat again, and I'm glad that we got those taken care of. My goal was to get them done by the end of this year, and we did. So the contractors are pretty thankful for that, and I'm happy about that. So 25 time of transfer inspections have been filed for the year. And then when it comes to nuisance complaints and or public health hazard complaints, there were 2 that took place this year. One that took place in Riceville. That one has been completed. There's no issues, no more complaints on that. I'm crossing my fingers that there will no more, like we won't have any more complaints on that at all. There is one that is still going on though, and it takes place in Mitchell. It's just, there's a lot that has to take place with this location. It's a pretty difficult site, but currently right now, there is a cesspool in this individual's backyard. There was a complaint placed about it. We're trying to fix that as soon as possible. This individual is getting some funding through the Council of Governments. So we're hoping that they've got enough money to where we can be able to put a system in. What makes this really difficult is the lot sizes in these towns that I have jurisdiction over, with the setback distances that are given to us from the state. If I was to just put a normal system in, which I wouldn't even be able to do that because there's literally no room. But if I could, the entire system would need easements around all 4 corners of this system. So it makes it really difficult because I don't want to have to put in a system and then just smack on a bunch of easements for it. And then that also includes easements through the city of Mitchell as well. So it would just be a lot. So we're looking at a plan. I've got contractors lined up. I'm waiting on quotes for them. Once I get quotes, I can go to Council of Governments and I can let them know, look, this is the price that we're looking at. Are you guys able to help with this? And they have told me that they have allocated funds for this individual. It's just more so how much is this contractor going to charge to be able to do this? Because we're looking at directional boring and all of that kind of stuff. And so, any questions about that? I'm trying to be as vague as possible. Hopefully I'm doing okay, Aaron. Aaron is aware of it as well. If there's not any questions about that, classes and or conferences that I plan to attend right now, I'm short on CEUs. I was on maternity leave for 3 months, so I lost out on 3 months of classes that I could have took. But I'm planning on doing a 2-day class on December 13th and 14th via Zoom. So I'll still be in my office. I'll be on site here. It's just I will be in class. And it's going over state code and all of that kind of stuff. So I'll be caught up on my CEUs from that class. I'll be able to keep my membership with IHA valid that way. And then to start off the year with CEUs, I'm going to be attending the IOWWA conference. That's January 10th and 11th in Cedar Rapids. So I'll be starting off the year decent that way. I have renewed my IOWWA and my IEHA memberships, which is good because we get discounts that way by doing that, and it keeps me valid with the state and keeps me kind of on the map, so. And then just some miscellaneouses. I took the county vehicle in to get an oil change, and I got new tires for it. It was due. Tires were pretty shot. And the quote that we got was actually higher than what the total bill was. So we were quoted a lot higher, and the total expense for that was $875.06. So that was for the tires, the oil change, and an alignment. I did that through Eastside Auto. The notes that I'm giving you today, Grants to County is now requiring that I submit those twice a year. And the reason for that is because they want to make sure that us environmental health specialists are actually going to our boards and telling them about everything that we're doing. I think there were some counties that were not doing that, and maybe some boards complained or something along those lines. So they're making sure that they keep us in line and make us do our due diligence. So I have to submit these to the state with the quarter reports. So I'll submit these ones, and then I'll submit, come when I do the second quarter, I'll submit those notes as well. Going back to the postcards, I do plan on doing those again, but I don't plan on doing them until next year. I'd like to also send out postcards regarding radon testing and the kits that we have available, because I just don't feel like we are pushing that enough in the county. So I want to be able to get those radon test kits out to individuals, let them know that we have those available. So I plan on doing postcards for that, or even putting that we have radon test kits on the postcards that I do for the water tests to save a little bit of money. And then I thought about doing some sort of flyer for septic systems as well, just so that way people know that they have to get permits, but just reminding people, look, we're here, this is the process. If you have any questions, call me, so and like all of that kind of stuff. So we do get reimbursed for promotions through Grants to County, so I have up to $1,000 that I can get back from the state for those promotions. I guess I'm just looking at trying to use that money that we're allocated as much as possible. The difficult part is that my funds really lie on individuals calling me and setting up appointments. I can't just go out and spend the money on like new equipment or anything like that. I don't get reimbursed for stuff like that. So it's really just trying to get the word out there that we take the water tests, we have the radon test kits, we can do all of this stuff. We can plug old wells, we can, if you need a well reconstruction, we can reimburse for that. And if you need a shock chlorination, we can reimburse for that. Just getting the word out there. So just trying to promote and use up those funds as much as possible. So
if the state's willing to pay for that, for those promotions, that's,
yeah,
just get the money and advertise yourself and
yep, yep,
provide the service to the people in Mitchell County.
right. Yeah, those postcards, it didn't include postage, but the postcards alone last year cost me like $280. So then we could get reimbursed for the postage on top of that. So I don't know what that came out to be, but we did get reimbursed for it. So if I can use up that $1,000, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does go a long way.
Yeah.
Just getting the word out there. So
you don't use it, they might discontinue it, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty much anything that we don't use, it goes back to the state and then they redistribute it to all 99 counties. So, I mean, if I've got $50,000, I want to use it, and we're getting better. In previous years, we weren't even using half of that $25,000 that I used up, so we're getting there. We just need to let more people know and get the word out there. So, any questions? Okay.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah.
Approved liquor license for Sportsman's Inn and Grill LLC. So we have an application, it's Sportsman's Inn and Grill LLC. It's, address is 2215 Highway 218. The contact person is listed. It's a Class C retail alcohol license for 12 months, effective October 19th of 23 to October 18th of 24. And they have their insurance company listed on the back. So I'll accept a motion to approve the liquor license for Sportsman's Inn and Grill LLC.
I'll make a motion.
Richardson has made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Brian has seconded. Any further discussion?
So it's October 19th, that's already passed. I didn't know. That's correct.
That was last year.
Well, that was last year.
October 19th, 23.
Oh, sorry.
That's when it takes effect.
No, well, that's the effective date and the expiration is the 18th of 24, so.
Okay.
So they started their process in the system, and sometimes the insurance companies are really terrible at going in and doing it. So then that date shows, it had been sitting there for a couple of weeks.
Okay, I just wondered.
Good question. Any other discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Motion carries. Approved resolution to set temporary precinct election official rate. Rachel, do you want to talk a little bit about, I'll read the resolution, but you want to maybe?
Yep, so last year, state auditor wanted us to every year do a resolution stating what we're paying our precinct officials. So it's same as it has been, $10 per hour, $25 minimum per day. That's the gist of it.
All right. So we approved this through resolution 1198-23, election board compensation resolution. Whereas the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors is responsible for establishing the rate of compensation paid to members of precinct election officials. Now therefore be it resolved that precinct election officials be compensated as follows effective fiscal year 23-24. Precinct officials, $10 per hour for election and election training session. Officials serving a partial day on election day shall be compensated at the same rate. Next bullet point, absentee precinct election officials, $10 per hour for official duties, $25 minimum per day. Now be it further resolved that the above listed precinct election officials be paid mileage at the current county mileage reimbursement rate for travel incurred to perform the above listed services for round trip mileage, and that the county auditor is hereby authorized to pay precinct election officials the hours and services as by them certified by claim or through the county payroll as applicable to comply with state and federal payroll tax and reporting regulations for payment of election officials. And if we approve it, it's approved this day, the 24th day of October 2023. Is there a motion to approve resolution 1198-23?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 1198-23.
Mayor has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Hendrickson seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Mark.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Sydney. Jim.
Aye.
Todd.
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on Wapsie watershed donation request. We were forwarded a letter from them, and there is a resolution for the approval, but I guess, first of all, we need to know if we're going to donate anything, and second of all, we need to know what we're going to donate towards it. So I have some thoughts, but what's the board think on the matter?
They want $600.
Mhm.
That's what we gave them last year, wasn't it?
No,
No.
350, settlement.
I know Steve always said we didn't get much benefit because everything happens south of us, because we're kind of the beginning of the stream.
We gave your group like 100, wasn't it?
That's kind of what, and the Soil and Water Conservation District is thinking the same thing, where we're on the north end of all the watersheds, and we give what's called a token amount, $100, because just as you said, we're on the north side, and if you look at, here's my thoughts. We're on the north side, and the work that watersheds do, you don't see it happening in Mitchell County. It's always happens downstream, and unfortunately for them, we're on the north side of the water. That's just the way it works. The Rock Creek watershed, you could use as a different example. That's more of a local watershed district, but as we were showing last week, they do a lot of stuff in Mitchell County. And not that we're funding the Rock Creek watershed, I don't mean that, but that's a watershed that actually is doing things for the taxpayers in Mitchell County. We don't get much benefit. And I've always thought the state needs to be ones that are funding watersheds, because watersheds are like roads that cross county lines. The state needs to get more active in the water quality of the state. So I think they need to be the main player in these. So before I read a resolution, what's the board think in regards to a dollar amount if you want to do this?
So I don't feel that we should raise it from last year, by no means.
Well, we should give something to show that we're good partners.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Probably the same as last year. My thoughts, I'd go with that.
You're at 350, what are other people thinking?
I'm okay with that too, but, to, continue on what you said, if we maybe upped it 50 to 400, that we're still, interested in it by just not keeping it the same. But I'm either way. I'm like you, I want them to know that we are still, we still have water from our area running down. But, I thought if we'd add just a little bit more,
Got a motion?
Motion.
I'm not asking for a motion yet because I want to get consensus of the board on a dollar amount.
yeah,
So
What do you think, 4?
We still could ask for discussion.
We gotta read the resolution.
I want to have a dollar amount that I put in the resolution, so that's what I want consensus first. So. Sydney, it's your watershed.
4.
Mike?
I can go with that, I guess.
Okay, so we got everybody at 4. I'm staying at $100. That's just my opinion, because I totally feel the state needs to be the main player in this, and if we keep funding these watersheds, they're never gonna get their foot in the door. So I'm at 100, but the board wants 4, so that's what we'll put on the resolution. So. Resolution 1199-23, the contribution agreement made between the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors and Upper Wapsipinicon Watershed is effective as of October 24th, 2023. Whereas Upper Wapsipinicon Watershed has requested $600 in funding from the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors. This funding request will be used for coordination and technical assistance from the RC&D. The funding will allow RC&D to have dedicated funding to pay part-time, acronym, Upper Wapsie, I don't know the whole acronym, UWRWMA coordinator. Now therefore be it resolved, the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors will contribute $400 to Upper Wapsipinicon River watershed. The foregoing resolution was adopted by the Board of Supervisors in Mitchell County, Iowa on October 24th, 2023, and vote was as follows. So I'll ask a motion to approve resolution number 1199-23.
I'll make that motion.
Harpo's made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Brian is seconded. Any further discussion?
I just wanna ask, did I miss something? Or when you said you wanna stay at 100, we weren't at 100.
No, but I guess what I mean is my mindset is that $100 is a token amount that we should be funding watersheds until the state steps up and starts actually playing a role in it. So
Okay,
that's what I meant. Yeah,
because we did give 350.
correct.
So, okay.
Correct. Yep. Any other discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Sydney,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Todd,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Excuse me. I meant to say nay. I apologize. It just came out. That was a nay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I kept my head down.
Yeah, no, it just came out.
I don't know, you said it, so I don't think you can take it back.
I apologize.
32nd rule. I don't know what the
Nope.
rule is.
Okay. Motion carries. Items of note, meetings attended. I had a Mitchell Soil and Water Conservation District meeting last week. Their Ramsey Farm, CRP will be coming out of the plan soon, and they plan to put it back in the plan and then add a small chunk of ground into the new plan also. And Devin, who was here, also talked about, he has a new layer on his computer that can bring in the GIS portion of his computer, can put a new layer on there, and it'll show possible locations of waterways, bioreactors, and wetlands. He said that's a really great thing for him. And then I had a Osage City Council meeting last night. Pretty small agenda, just pretty much took care of business. Nothing too major there, so that's all I had.
None.
Well, I had a public health meeting. Amanda, I guess, went over all her part. The public health part of it, though, I don't know, we went over the 2 staff resignation, 2 new hires. We discussed the starting wage for home health aides. Decided it was pretty low. It was at $13.50. We raised it to $15.50 just to be more competitive with nursing homes and whoever. And then they had a new on-call policy to where the on-call people actually get paid to be on call instead of just, so it amounts a little more money, but ties up their weekend and their nights, whatever, when they're on call. So they did that. They currently have 67 clients in their census, which is down from where they normally are, but and they went over their expense and revenue and everything's good. And that's pretty much it.
I had a public health HR meeting, and they're gonna be looking for a payroll benefit specialist. It's a full-time position. Yeah, 3 people donate sick leave to a person, and they're having a department head is having her evaluation done.
I attended the Child Care Coalition last week, which I think was a good meeting. I had FMC DCAP meeting, went over the financials for '24. An interesting thing that happened. Before I was even on, I think some of the other ones, the previous coordinator must have applied for a grant and was given it, and it was been sitting in the account for multiple years of $17,000. And somehow, during an audit must have found that, so, they would like us to use that up. So, between our committee and, city mayors, I can't remember all who, the coordinator, they're all trying to figure out somewhere where we could, for special needs, or, they do movie nights, just different things, backpacks for kids. So that was kind of nice. And speaking of that, Fredericksburg, they, did have a family, learning night, and then went to a movie. So different things like that are good for the kids. And then last night I had an economic development meeting. Went through the child care coalition with the committee. We had a forgivable loan that on this housing incentive, they have sold the house. They will be paying back what, I'm not sure what the dollar amount is.
$7,500.
Okay, thank you. Because they sold it before their time was up. The FEMC grant ceremony is coming up in November, and we have, where is it, $116,000
$133.
for the FEMC grant.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
Something like that.
going out, so. And then, I got an email, and I guess it's a Valent, did their ditch cleanup, and, they said it was a lot less trash than the first time. So that's kind of nice to know, so. And that was it.
Transfer of funds. Rachel, you want?
Yep, so in our budget, we had put 300,000 transferred from local option sales tax to the general basic. We didn't have to raise the levy there, so that's just so noted.
Right. Public comments. Anything from the public? Anybody online? Yeah. Guess we're done. Meeting is adjourned.